Welcome back to The Trade. This is Gina Beck.
This is Drew Williams.
Thank you for listening, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We appreciate y'all, especially the reviews on Apple Podcasts. It really means a lot.
Yeah, and like always, thank you guys again for the continued support, the continued engagement, and the hashtag Banana Cats.
How are you, Drew?
I'm all right, G. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Happy to be back, ready to get into this podcast. So I came across this just like now, literally. It's from the New York Post. New York Post is talking about it. They're giving their opinion. I guess a new Instagram for, kids under like 13 would create a paradise for you-know-whos is the title. We'll link it in the description so you guys can read it for yourselves. But this is ever since its launch back in 2010, Instagram has forbidden any child under the age of 13 from using it. But now Facebook, which bought the social media platform in 2012, is developing an Instagram 2.0 that specifically targets use under that age threshold. I guess the company post obtained by BuzzFeed News last month, Instagram's director of product cheerily declares that the company will be building a new youth pillar within the community product group to focus on two things: accelerating our integrity and privacy work to ensure the safest possible experience for teens, and building a version of Instagram that allows people under the age of 13 to safely use Instagram for the first time. It says, but don't worry, folks, the new Insta will be run by parents. Considering an average parent is exhausted and overworked, claiming they have just 32 minutes to themselves every day, the idea that this new app will be continuously monitored by moms and dads is laughable. Furthermore, underage children are already getting onto social media without their parents' consent. Today, the majority of young children own a cell phone by the age of 7 or a tablet. And most children develop habits by the age of 9 of going on these apps. And the results are sometimes disastrous. Earlier this month, a 12-year-old boy died after taking part in a blackout challenge seen on an app. Instagram's plans to recruit a younger audience is especially worrying, considering it is one of the most popular sites for you-know-whos. I mean, we've caught people on there. I've seen a lot of other decoys who have decoy profiles, and I've checked them out. Really good decoy profiles are out there, by the way. I mean, they're everywhere, so why wouldn't they not be on here? And I don't really want to read the rest of the article. It's just a lot of like their opinion, which is a lot of the same of our opinion. I just want to talk about it. Do you think it's a good idea, Drew?
No, we actually had almost a pre-podcast because of this whole subject. It like totally put the podcast in another direction tonight, but it's totally fine. I love that type of stuff. Not that I love the subject, but I love the energy coming from it. It's a nightmare. Like how we were talking about this. The amount of information you would have to give up to verify that your child is your child would be probably even more than your banking info, which is just asinine. That is just completely crazy to get your child onto Instagram, which would still not be monitored by anybody. I just don't get what they're doing, what the plan is, who voted this in. Like I just have more questions than I do. Like it just confuses me. It like angers me in a way, but it kind of just is like more like, at what point did the yes men just all say this all the way to the top? Like, yeah, this is a green light. Let's go with this.
Yeah, we definitely should do more research. We should see who yesed this, right? Who put this as top priority, and that is a good place to start. Like, who's in charge of this project right now? Because you might just be a weirdo. Anyway, see, I think it's a horrible idea. Just everything that you said just sums it all up. But also, imagine being a parent and being like, oh yeah, Timmy, we're going to sign you up to Instagram 2.0 today. And then going on there, and then Instagram being like, yeah, let's see your form of ID. Let's see your family photos. Let's see a birth certificate. I mean, yeah, right?
That's the
So
type. That's what I was getting at. I was like, that type of level you would have to give up. Like it's like
not
insane.
only are you leading Timmy onto a social platform that you deal with and you don't even probably like yourself half to 75% of the time, you're giving out that information to who and why? And like, it's just weird all around. And I think any parent who provides social media for your children, you're not a good parent. I just don't think you're a good parent. I don't think kids should be on social media and making posts and getting adrenaline from likes and from shares and from
And
views and
not to
having
mention the
that be their,
depression that it causes too in some teens.
because
Like,
they don't get enough likes or shares or views, cuz so now they're changing how they perceive themselves and act, and it's a mess. So why you don't like it? At the end of the day, I know there's people out there who's like, man, F Facebook, F Instagram, like F Linda, who she's a Karen, she just ruined my day. You all have those days, so why be like, okay, here to your kid and hand that to them? Like, I just don't get it. Like, let them find it on their own,
well, and there's
and
just
then
so much proof of how disastrous social media is just to adults to begin with, from, I mean, really terrible crimes to just the petty fights it causes in families in some cases. And it's just like, these kids aren't ready for this. Most adults aren't ready for this.
no. And that's what Instagram said. They're getting the youth ready. It's just like, no, you shouldn't. You should wait until they find it on their own, they're ready, they subject themselves to this stuff, and then or parents have conversations with them about social media, and if they don't want them on it, they don't want them on it. They're under their roof. But also if you catch your kid on it, you can you can just warn kids, like, I don't know. I just wouldn't hand them something that's just meant for, it says it's meant for kids, because it's 100% not just going to be children. There's going to be weirdos. So I don't know why. I don't know, just like a big target with a bullseye that's like, come here, this is where the kids are. Just stupid. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't agree.
I mean, Chuck E. Cheese has better security for letting people in and out. Like you can't even go in there without like kids. Like you, like I don't know. It just I don't know who. Like you said, we need to dig in and see if you can find out who's behind this. Like at Instagram or whoever made that. I don't know. Confuses the hell out of me.
But I like to see that big news outlets are talking about it. You never know, maybe a big enough backlash when it comes to the news outlets, and then if social media picks it up and like TikTok starts going wild with it, you know how things, it's like a domino effect. So hopefully if people have a big enough uproar, maybe it could stop and not go out. But let's find out who created it.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely dig more into that later tonight. I've got an article I wanted to bring up for actually the last couple of podcasts, but I wanted to talk about it with G because it's a little bit crazy. This came out of Tampa Bay area. It's actually, I believe, out of Fort Lauderdale. The title is Florida Teacher Offered $200 for 2-year-old, police say. Fort Lauderdale, a Florida school district, fired a teacher shortly after a law enforcement report was released Monday saying he offered to pay for a father's motel room if he could see the man's 2-year-old daughter. Xavier Alexander, a fourth grade teacher at Grove Park Elementary School in Palm Beach Gardens, has been fired. The Palm Beach County School District said in a statement Alexander, 27, also advertised himself on websites as a babysitter, investigators said. The firing came hours after Palm Beach Sheriff's Office arrest report outlining its case against Alexander was released by the courts. According to the report, a 39-year-old father posted a Craigslist ad on March 26 saying he was looking for someone to split a motel room with for a few days as he waited to move into his new home. He noted in the ad that he had a 2-year-old daughter No weirdos or drugs, please, the man added. The man soon received a text from an unknown messenger who eventually asked, "Would I ever be alone with your daughter?" When told no, the messenger replied he would go elsewhere. The father contacted the sheriff's office. Deputies, after reading the text, impersonated the father, texted back the messenger, and told him that he could be a girl if he paid for 2 nights of the motel room. The father and the messenger eventually agreed to meet at the motel on Thursday, with the messenger bringing $200. Detectives said they arrested Alexander when he arrived at the door with a condom stashed in his shoe. They say Alexander admitted to sending texts and saying that he had addictions. He denied ever molesting a child. Alexander is being held on $1 million bail right now. And the school district is providing counseling to Alexander's students and their families, apparently. This is the most up-to-date thing we have on him. But he looks like he could be a decent guy. Like he just looks like, yeah, that could be someone's teacher and someone's beloved teacher, and he's out trying to buy for $200.
2-year-olds at that.
Yeah, that's like that makes it an even extra. Not to say that any of it's dark, but it's just really dark
Yeah,
when you
just
start.
that's a baby. Like what the? I don't
It's
like any of it. I think shouldn't even have a bond. You know, it's crazy. That's the kind of things that we're up against, and that's the kind of things that happen every day. And just like Drew said, doesn't look like doesn't look like it'd be that kind of guy, but it's that kind of guy. So,
well, this
like we
kind of
always say, just be aware.
this actually leads me a little bit into something else we can because this is 57 of them, and we're gonna put all the links so you guys can see these faces. There's ages all the way down to I believe 21, and they were up into their mid 60s. 57 arrested in San Joaquin County. Dozens of people were arrested as part of a child predator sting throughout San Joaquin County over the last week. In total, 57 people were arrested and 37 were cited over a 5-day span from April 12th to the 16th. The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office said that the operation targeted out of compliance and persons on probation or parole for crimes, sex traffickers, and pandering. Over 100 total officials from all assisting organizations were stationed throughout the county and made contact with would-be who thought they were talking with minors, authorities said. Probable cause was established, and law enforcement officials then set up meetings with each suspect, which resulted in arrests. Of those arrested, 23 faced child charges, 2 faced trafficking charges, 4 faced pandering charges, 16 faced prohibition charges, 19 were arrested for station, 6 faced weapon charges, 18 were out of compliance, and 4 received traffic citations. The sheriff's office said the operation, called More Than Adequate, resulted in more than double the arrests in comparison to the last operation of this type. And then they go on to list it's like the entire state, all the agencies you could think of are involved in this. But like just like the other guy, you'll go through these 57 pictures of these guys, and some of them they definitely look like the stereotype, absolutely. But some of the other ones, it's like that could be your neighbor, that could be your uncle. There is one woman, which is always shocking when I see that. I don't know why. I still get shocked when I see him, but there is a woman. She was about, I think she was closer to my age, like 37.
It's just it's crazy. It's a lot. 57 people in that area.
Yeah, it's
That's
San Joaquin County. That's east of the Bay Area. That's like Stockton area, 209. It's but I mean, in 4 day span, it is showing that law enforcement is putting in work, at least with
yeah. They're doing.
the.
I was just gonna say that they're doing work.
Yeah, that's kudos to them. That's like with those are what we want to see officers doing, is taking care of those type of people, because those people they're not people.
No, and 57 is a large amount of people to just like it make. I feel like it would make them want to do it more and do it again, and I hope they do. I hope a lot of fires get under some butts out there like we've been seeing. It's very nice to see that happening consistently in a lot of different areas.
Oh, and just like the one before that with the teacher, kudos to the father who actually contacted the sheriff's department without blowing the cover, and then the fact that they actually took over the role as a decoy, and then like that's good police work. That's what we want to people want to see and hear. Like that's awesome. So kudos to both of them.
Yeah, and stay safe. So I think that's all for today, right?
Yeah, that's enough horrible news for today, I think.
Well, thank you guys for liking, listening, and commenting. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, Banana Cats.
Banana Cats, much love. Peace.